And welcome back to Bitcoin Advisors channel. My name is Chris, bringing it to you here from Westlake Village, California. It is another beautiful day out there. Actually, it's really cold for us people in California. We don't know what to do, but I want to make this video short and sweet. It is the first day of March, and I want to make it kind of a macro Wednesday, looking at some of the higher term time frames and what to expect with regards to Bitcoin's price action in the short term. So as you can see, we've got an ascending triangle on the 12-hour time frame. And in my book, this would be confirmed as it was confirmed a couple days ago. We've been talking about it right here on our, what now looks like our 1, 2, 3, 4 drives of hidden bullish divergence. That's where the price is making higher lows, and you can see significantly lower lows. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 almost. And how do we confirm this? Well, this candle body closure above this wick, technically speaking, there's no real definition for this, but I like to use the prior wick. And a little bit of, personal preference / just what I've seen in the charts for some time now. But where would this give us a measure move on 4 drives? You could go as far as to measure the move up. See, we're still getting above the 618 or the 0.5, or we're getting tamed by the 0.5, the 50% retracement off of this consolidation, as we do have, higher highs and higher lows on not only the 12-hour time frame, the daily time frame. Let's see, the 2-day looks like it will be closing today, and really that is going to be the line in the sand for the next shot up to the 1618 fib, coming in at 26,000. So just very similarly, I would expect a little selling pressure coming into that purple 200, even on the 2-day. Unless we bust right through it like we did right there. And what else did I notice here on, is it the 12-hour? Nope. I believe I was looking at another token there. So back onto the 12-hour. So what is this? Hidden bullish divergence. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 drives. So for me, technically speaking, I'd be looking for a move up to the 1618 fib, which is very much in alignment with the measure move off of this ascending triangle, which again, we measure those from the 50 percentile. They typically break at 75% full, where close enough is close enough. Could we come back down one more time and test this trend line? Yes, we could. But given the economic data coming out today, which was a little bit more bearish for the dollar, which I'm starting to see the loss in correlation between dollar assets and risk assets, or the loss of correlation between the dollar and Bitcoin. So something new is perhaps in the works, but overall, if the dollar gets real bullish and starts to show himself strong, well, then you could expect risk assets like the NASDAQ not to follow suit, right? They're going to play opposite of each other. But this report, S&P Global Manufacturing PMI, came out at 47.3, lower than expected, and that was bearish for the dollar. What else? ISM Manufacturing PMI also came out lower than expected, which is bearish for the dollar, i.e. the red right there. Gasoline stock change, lower than expected. Negative. Oh, interesting. And what else did I hear today? 30-year mortgage rates hit 7% again. That's not good. Bond yields are also skyrocketing. So typically not good for the stock market when bond yields are skyrocketing. I'd say that's a bit of a point for the bulls. Excuse me. Point for the bears. Point for the bears. And yeah, taking out this wick here on the 12-hour. I think we had our targets all in here, and I don't see them anymore. But generally speaking, yeah, looking for this one to kind of head onwards and upwards, up above 5%. For the 2-year, the 10-year, creeping on up there as well, probably heading up to 5% at some point as well. And so we got the targets in for the 30-year and the 10-year. Let's put the 2-year target in. 2-year target on bonds, and this looks like a nice little cup and handle. Cup and handle. Why do they call it that? I don't know. I don't really care, but that's our target on the 2-year. And the 5-day will close for bonds here in the next 1 hour. 5-day closes shortly. 2 days and 4 hours. Japanese yen pulling down or popping up slightly on the 5-day, on the daily. Getting the silver cross the downside. Brazil, nobody cares about. Carnival's over. And the British pound. The yen is the big one. The yen is, let's check out USDT. Again, as USDT spikes up, we expect risk as USDT goes up, right? And perhaps this is a higher low off the green 55, a really good test. In fact, any kind of a weekly closure back above here looks like we'll have a run at the 618, which is going to be good for a move up here. However, this does look like some bearish divergence. Let's see how many drives we have here. So we got coming back from this pivot right here to slightly higher highs in closing price action. So did we already get the move back to the bottom side of the range at the green 55? Could it come a bit lower? Possibly. But we are crossing up from a low level on the weekly time frame. So maybe some dumping of some altcoins is due here. Not getting a whole lot from this chart. But something to be aware of. If this starts to shoot up, risk assets shall go down. And yeah, that would, any kind of a closure back above the 618 at 7.89. I would be looking for a run all the way up to this target to get hit. This thing is a weekly time frame, so it could take weeks. As a matter of fact, we've been sitting here for months, several weeks, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 weeks so far. Checking in on Compound. A lot of my friends like this one. I like this one. I like the platform. Does not mean I'm endorsing it to buy right now. However, if this thing does play in line with some of the other assets, could get a pretty good run up to the green 55. Let's check out Bitcoin dominance really quick here. Bitcoin dominance kind of holding its own on the weekly. What about on the day? And as Bitcoin dominance goes up, you expect Bitcoin to perform better versus the Satoshi pairing in most altcoins. Gold also popping up $11. Silver up 9 cents, about a 0.5 point gain on metals. And I would suspect dollar coming down a little bit. And pretty much, we never got officially there to that target, but close enough is close enough. And is the hourly giving us anything with the new manufacturing numbers coming out? A little bit more on the bearish side for the dollar could provide some relief rally. And as well as China and their stimulus and China's ISM PMI number, the same number that we looked at for the United States. Apparently, China crushed it, and their PMI manufacturing was up. No. Unemployment change. I think it was a big, no, it says lower than expected. Was that today? China. See, I never know what to expect with the Chinese prints over here, but I heard on the news, don't quote me, but China's manufacturing went up. Their global PMI, let's see if I can find it here. CHF. Is that China right there? Europe, S&P Global Manufacturing. Also heard Europe is looking at another 50 basis point rate hike. They're having a hike. Instead of rates being at 0, they're having to hike rates over there. China PMI. Where would it be? I don't see it, so just forget that I even said that. There it is. Japanese. Yeah, I don't see China here. Unless this is China. Is this China? Switzerland. No, it's not. Yeah, I knew it wasn't right. But needless to say, they did a big stimulus over there, China reopening because of COVID. So there is this China play everybody's talking about. So maybe the Chinese coins are going to still continue to pump. Dollar coming up a little bit right now, but not enough to, really goose the odds in the favor of the bears yet. And back on to Bitcoin and some of the macro discussions that we were hypothecating or discussing here. So what do we talk about? How do I identify when the macro low is in for Bitcoin? The first thing you want to see is that higher low on the weekly time frame. And we got this back there, higher low, higher high, higher high, higher low. So a bit of a trend reversal on the weekly time frame. That is the first thing we need to identify a macro low being in. The second thing was extreme lows on the volatility indicator. What do we call that? Extreme lows? Yes, we did get extreme lows on the BLX and my squiggly line from yesterday. Oh, and this is the BLX. So this is the index. It's like a day behind in price action. The second thing was, lows on the BBWP. We got that. We wanted to see a blue buy signal on the weekly time frame. We got that. We wanted to see funding rates at 0.1%, which, by the way, here's open interest, which is ticking up a bit at 7.8 billion. So up from the 6.9. So up almost, up almost $1 billion in open interest. That's leveraged positions on the board. And then we got the funding rate. So funding rates, not 0.1%. We did get that tick, but that was way back in November 10. So if we look at all-time history, you can see these major drawdowns in funding rates. The last major one being reported, this is all-time history, is 2020. No, don't do that. Okay, let's go back to all-time. And will it let me go back even further? Let's see. Anyways, I'm not going to play with that today. But as you can see, this major low right here, when Bitcoin hit, what did it hit there? $5,000. Funding rates went way below 0.1%. So we just got that. Okay. Essentially, what happens there is you end up paying to go short. You end up paying a lot of money to go short on the futures market. Okay, lastly, Golden Cross on the daily. Have we gotten that yet? Well, on the index, probably not. But the Golden Cross I'm looking for, the Golden Cross that I'm looking for on the daily has happened officially. There she is, Golden Cross on the daily for the BLX. Let's see if it's on spot price action. There it is, right there. And do we have it? No, we don't have it on. We do not have it on CMEs yet. But that's good enough for me. Lastly, Golden Cross. Okay, extreme read on the Fear and Greed Index. Now, this is one to be debated here. Did we get the extreme read? I would not say so. You know, for this macro low to be in, that's why I do believe we're going to get one more wash to the downside. Don't quote me, or do quote me. I would say suspect. But one more wash to the downside to fill this gap at least on the CMEs. What happened to my gaps? What happened? Sometimes they just disappear. Well, I'm going to throw this one in here again. Gaps have a like 90% chance of getting filled. So why not take the chance? That's a pretty high probability that we're going to get some upside. We're going to get some downside and some sideways action. We're still currently right at the top side of the range, perhaps on CMEs. We did get a closure above there, but we need to take out this high at 32,000. Otherwise, you're going to have that bearish divergence still coming in from a very high level right there. Okay, so what's going to be the major catalyst to send Bitcoin rocket shipping to the moon? Is there going to be something? I don't know. So Fear and Greed Index, we just went over that. We did not get in. So this perhaps is one of the signals we did not get yet. And look, I'm just going to show this. So if you guys want to print screen it, add it to your notes, it'll be here for you. Okay, let's see. Boom. So we're going over how do I identify when the macro low is in? When is it up only time? We've gone over higher low on the weekly time frame. We want to see extreme, work on the spelling, Chris. Okay, extreme lows on the volatility indicator. An expansion above 80%. Are we getting the expansion above 80%? So on the weekly time frame for CMEs, extreme lows, the lowest lows we've ever seen. And are we above 80% yet? No, not yet. We're not above 80%. So let's see. What about this guy? Are we above 80%? No. Did we come from extreme lows? Yes. So could this thing whip around one more time? Maybe, perhaps, maybe, but we'll cross down. Actually, the weekly Stoke did cross down. Let's get all this nonsense out of the way here. So weekly Stokes did cross down. So a bit of a harbinger of death and despair or peace and prosperity. Well, the weekly Stoke crossing down from this high level is not necessarily the best thing. And if volatility goes back down, what you would expect is price to go in the opposite of the current explosion. So the explosion happened from right here. We had a significant rally to the green 55, up 60% in several weeks, right? And as volatility begins to cool back off, as you can see here, right? We exploded to the downside. We exploded to the downside, right? Low volatility. Okay, explosion to the downside again. When these animals, these indicators are direction neutral. Okay, how long am I into this video? I got a new little thing I'm using to record stuff, and I do not like the angle. Anyways, long story short, you expect the price to go in the opposite of the explosion. So we had the explosion off the lows, up 60%. And now if volatility begins to decline, again, this is a weekly time frame. So we got 4 days and 6 hours left to see what happens on this one. Same thing. We're already starting to decline on the 5-day. And you should get an opposite reaction, which could be more down. What does the 3-day say? So 3-day volatility is extremely low, and wow, this is good to know. So if we cross up today, which we will cross up on the 3-day time frame, which is a very powerful time frame, above 24,100, then this shall signify something. And it would probably be bullish divergence. Well, to me, I'd want to see a 3-day closure back above this wick. Again, confirming this as a higher low. Could we get that in the next 5 hours? Well, we have certainly seen more aggressive things. And in fact, that would put Bitcoin right at the target I was discussing, which is kind of my impression. Anyways, big failures are going to come if we do start closing this 12-hour back below this wick right here at 22,510. That would be the point of failure. Big failures down, and I'd be looking for a move down to 21,237. Probably happens pretty quick. Again, moves to the downside are going to be quicker than moves to the upside. Again, I can't even see how many hours I've been recording. 21 minutes into this video. Hope you guys played it on fast forward so you don't have to hear me for too long. All right. Next up on the board, we're going over to my notes. Print screen this, guys. Add it to your notes because this stuff is valuable. And again, we've got pretty much all these things except for this one. And we want to add confluence with, shout out to Eric Crown on this one. Major signal here on the monthly time frame. Let's check it out. BLX. Oh, we did not get this. Okay. We got the monthly buy signal. We've gotten that a lot. I don't know if that has any relevance, but the monthly blue buy signal. So here we go. I'm going to get rid of the MACD. So that is one of the other additions to confluence that we are looking for. MACD crossing up from a low level. I guess this has never happened before. We only got red on the histogram 3 times. Oh no, here's one more. So if we really want to see this in a bird's eye view, have we ever gotten red on the MACD before? Yes. Oh, and look at how this kind of did that, right? We got red. As soon as we crossed up, it was time to go to the moon. Monthly MACD crossing to the upside. How far away is that? These lines are still very far away from each other, but notice it looks very similar. And again, every bar is going to be 1 month, right? 1 month, 1 month. So I know we called this one out here. This was a big call out. So I do imagine when these cross back up, that'll be in the nail in the coffin for the bears. See ya, sayonara, no more upside. And especially if this turns green. Yep. So MACD crossing to the upside. This is right here. Not done yet. So I'm going to put these in green. And this is not above 80%. But we did come from extreme low. So this is about half green, half red. Okay, we got this one. We got this one. We got this one. We do not have this one. So I'm going to put this in red. I call it red? Red, pink. Let's do light red. Light red there. We're going to do light red here. Oh. Light red. We do have this one. And this is a big one. These two are huge. So we got everything on the board here pretty much for the macro low to be in, but we don't have everything. We've got, 6 indicators, 7, 8, 9 indicators. So 7 out of 9 indicators, I identifying the macro low being in, pretty darn good. Pretty darn good for a macro low being in, but I'm not totally sold yet until we get them all. Why? We don't have to front run it. We don't have to front run when Bitcoin's going to go up only, right? We don't have to front run the signal. We can just wait for up only and hope no black swan events come, because, TA is not an exact science. It's more of an art form, right? It's not a guarantee, but it is more of an art form. All right, next thing up. So yeah, those are the things you want to screenshot, put that in your folder. The secret sauce is in. And yep, what else did I want to bring up? Oh yeah, we didn't call this out, but I'm going to call it out right now. The monthly hidden bullish divergence. Is it hidden bullish? Is it just regular bullish? Is it super bullish? Monthly SOAPs crossing up from a low level. We got that. With major lows. And this is not confirmed yet, but it was confirmed. Yes, it was. How many drives of hidden bullish divergence do we have? Do you see? How many drives do you see? Can we do it all the way back from here? I wouldn't say so. That's not a clear stop and reverse. I would be using this pivot right here. So based on the 4-drive philosophy, 4 drives, that gives us a shot up to the 1618. The 4-drive philosophy. Or at least the top side of the range. Coming in at this level. But here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. How many lows do you see? Confirmed clear stop and reverse points. So going to mark them off for us. I know today's a little bit longer. I called it Macro Wednesday. It's the first day of the month. It is time to go over all these points. Low, complex low, and another one right here. How do we confirm this as a low? By closing above that wick. Okay, some more aggressive traders or conservative traders are going to wait for a closure above there. The month did just close, so let's look at spot price action. But here is what I want to point out. From this pivot, we only have 2 drives. I only see 2 drives. 1, 2. So we can negate this one because this is a higher low. Right? This is a higher low than that low, but this is a lower low. So hidden bullish divergence is this, guys. Price is making a higher low. RSI is making a lower low. So we got 1. Let's just mark it off. Boom. Okay. 1, 2. 2 drives gives you a shot to the yellow 21. We already got that pretty much. Close enough is close enough. Let's see what this is the index. This is the index. This is the index. So we want to check it out on spot price action. Let's use the longest form of, this is Bitstamp. Lots of charts, lots of drawn out, and yes. Yes, indeed. Yellow 21. So we did not quite get there yet. But this is only 2 drives. I only see 2 drives, guys. If you do call that a low, then you would have multiple drives. 1, 2, 3. So perhaps a shot to the top side of the range at 35,000. Again, that's why it's tough to tell, and we want to see all the indicators come into confluence with each other to give us one beautiful baby, a nice little picture. So this is as far as I got today, guys. I think I'm going to leave it off with that. It's a good time to move it on up to the next topic of concern, which is the aliens. The aliens, the spheres are flying around the moon. Have you guys heard about the aliens? I definitely a bit concerned about that. Monthly for Matic, mana rejection, but could get a backfill. Sand. These could be a shooting star, but if you take out the prior wick, this thing's in a moonshot to the moon. How did Ethereum close on the monthly? And same thing, indecision off the green 55, bullish divergence. Looking a little better for Mr. Ethereum on the monthly time frame. Ethereum Classic. Any standout pictures? No, this one does not look as good or as bullish as the other assets. This one likely to hold that trend line down to doggy town. Aave, how did she finish? Aave, she's quite beautiful when the market is pumping. Up 5% today, so not a bad day for Aave. And what did I just see there? A bounce off the 3-day green 55, another higher low. Perhaps we get a shot back to the top side of the range, any kind of a 2-day closure back above 84, and I would be looking for a shot back to the top side of the range. All right, that's it for me today. Hope you guys have a blessed and highly favored day. We'll check back in with you tomorrow for some more updates on crypto. Take care.